Working on a project banjo here. This one's a prototype. It's kind of in the rough stage. I guess you could call it the rough end stage. It's got a couple of ideas I'm testing out. One of them is putting the tuners back here at the tailpiece. So these knobs here actually adjust the tuning. So up at the front here, you've probably seen this before, where you just pin down the strings. And right now I'm just using a stainless steel rod as the nut. And I made another version of this banjo where the strings actually curved around and came inside, and the tuners were inside. It was a little impractical for tuning because you had to hold it kind of awkwardly as you reach around the back and tune it. So this one also may be a little awkward because you have to strike the string and then use, but I think you can use this hand to strike the string and tune it. But it's so beefy, you may not need to tune it that much. The neck is pretty thick, and I like it because it feels your hand and it just feels right. It's not a spindly like little broomstick or a little wooden dowel or something. It's sturdy, and that's the way I like to make them. It just seems natural to me that way. And of course, it doesn't have frets in it yet. I've got to determine where I'm going to set the bridge, and then I can go in and drop in the 12th fret and then work up the neck and down, or like that. And this one also has some adjustments in the back for playability. You can loosen this bolt and adjust this to raise and lower the height of the back end of the pot in relation to the neck. And then there's also a system of wedges here that you can shift around and lock in. And that also adjusts the relationship between the fretboard and the pot up here. So between the two adjustments, you can pretty much get it wherever you want it to be. Right now, it's set up pretty good for playing if you're not going to have frets on it. But I'm going to put frets on it, so I'm going to have to change the adjustment a little bit. But the banjo, in this case, is a combination of woodworking and metalworking, and this one I think is more metalworking than wood. This is a stainless steel piece that I had to cut out and roll it and weld it together, and then cut in all these recesses and cut down the recesses here. I believe I used a die grinder for most of it, and maybe a file. And this one also has a tone ring. It's a brass tone ring. I did the same kind of thing. I started with a straight rectangular piece of brass. You can see it way down in there. And I put the taper on it that I wanted and the profile, and then I ran it through a roller and then got it round to this diameter that I wanted. And then I silver soldered it so it'd be one continuous piece and dropped that in. And so there's quite a few metal parts in it that are made. Also, there's this anchor for the tailpiece, which actually goes into the back of the pot. That's a piece of steel, and it's actually a brown. Usually if I'm using steel, I put a browning on it. It's kind of like bluing, only it turns it brown. And it just kind of makes it blend into the wood and not be real shiny or anything. So, this neck is actually one continuous piece of wood all the way from here in the back, all the way up to here. It's just been cut and carved and everything. Still got some more carving to do and sanding quite a bit. But like I said, this is just basically getting the bones of the banjo. And then the rest of it is just the fine detail, sanding and all that. That's a whole nother story. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I've got a few other banjo projects in the works, and some I've had for a while. Also, I've made a lot of these guards here. I usually will slap one on my banjo. I just like the way it spreads out. You don't have a sharp edge on your wrist. And one other thing about I might not have mentioned this, it's got a cutout here. It's ergonomically beneficial, I think. It allows the banjo to kick in closer to your body at the top and gives you the better angle, so your wrist isn't like curved over, because this is kind of a fat banjo, kind of deep. And I like it that way. I think it improves the sound a little bit. So this is the project, one of them, and hope you enjoyed it. And Good luck with your woodworking and metalworking projects.